Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Orona for Peacetime. It's been a while since I've seen you, but today I'm so excited because I've got a very special story that is going to help you understand about choices and what happens when you make good choices and when you make not so good choices. And this story begins with a little boy called the Black Elk. The Black Elk lived over 100 years ago. He was a young 9-year-old, a Native American boy named the Black Elk. He lived with his family and the villagers on the plains of North America. At that time, boys and girls, there were no houses, there were no stores or cars like we have now. But instead, they lived in what they called teepees. Let me show you a picture of a teepee. Okay, so they lived in teepees. Okay, this is what they lived in. Okay, they rode horses and they depended on the buffalo for their food. Here's some buffalo. And they also depended on the buffalo for clothing and even their homes. That's what they would use. You know, it was a very difficult time, though, for the Black Elk and his family because there were many other people who wanted their land. And these people were called the Washishu people. And they wanted to take their land, they wanted to take their clothes and their shelter. And many of the Black Elk friends and family were killed. And this made the Black Elk very sad. Well, when he was 9 years old, he became very sick. And all the people were afraid that he would not live. But guess what? Fortunately, he did live. And he grew to be an adult. This is what he grew up to be like. See that? And when he grew up, he had a story to tell. He said, you know, when I was a little boy that I got so sick, I had a vision. And that vision was a vision of peace. And so he grew up and he wanted to share what that dream was or that vision that he had had. And today I'm going to show you what it was he saw in his vision when he was so sick. Are you ready? Okay, so let me get my materials to show you. Oh, look at this. I have a very special box with some special items in it. Okay, that will help me tell the story. And also this to represent some of the vision that the Black Elk saw. Okay. Are you ready? Listen to the story. Sit back and relax as you watch Miss Orona tell you the story with the objects. Okay? So remember, he was sick, and this was how his vision or his dream went like. He was up here, he felt like he was floating in the sky, and his body was being raised up into the air on a cloud. And as he looked down, he saw a circle or a hoop. And in this hoop, he saw all of life's creations. You know, he saw the sun, he saw the moon, the stars, the planets, the earth, the water, the air, the soil. He saw all of the plants and all of the animals, from the horses to birds and even all the little creepy crawlies. But guess what? He saw that everything was good. Everything that was good was important. But then he looked and he saw 4 directions. Okay? And he saw the west. He saw the north. He saw the east. And he saw the south. Well, the black elk looked at the hoop again, and he saw something running from west to east. Do you want to see what it was? Boys and girls, what he saw was a road of difficulties. He saw this road of difficulties. Okay. Here's the road of difficulties. And he saw that the people sometimes that walked this road, that they walked along the black road, were people who were not making good choices. And then he also saw, look what he saw. He saw another road. And this road ran from the north to the south. And he would see people walking on it. And as they walked, he noticed that these people were making great actions. There was peace on this road. He also saw that some people walked on this road. And then guess what he saw in the middle? Finally, he looked right in the center, and he saw where the 2 roads crossed at that point. And there he saw a sacred tree. And on this tree, he noticed that when people walked on the road of peace and good choices, when they were walking on that road, he noticed, look what he noticed. He noticed that the leaves on the trees were shining and hanging so beautifully. And he noticed that there was birds that would come. He noticed all kinds of beautiful birds that would come because they were walking on the road of peace. And not only that, he also saw flowers that bloomed on the tree and more birds. And it was just blooming with love and peace. And more birds and more flowers as the people had that peace and that love light shining. He could just see from above all the beautiful things. And he even saw a little peace dove on that tree of life when they were making good, wonderful choices. Now, boys and girls, he could also see that if there was people walking down this road of darkness, they were not making good choices. So the tree would just lose all the beautiful things when people were walking down the black road. Now, boys and girls, we have talked about your love lights before. We have talked about good choices. We have talked about how we breathe when sometimes we're frustrated. Well, this story about the black elk is to help you remember that we would always want to work hard to walk down this peaceful road so that our love lights are beautiful like the tree of life when we walk the road of kindness and the road of goodness, the road of friendships, the road of love, the road of peace. If we do that, we will be walking down the road of love and peace. But boys and girls, if we don't make those choices and we are walking down the black road, it makes our love light so very dim. So your job every day is to remember to walk on the good road of peace so that your love light will shine and your life tree will look as beautiful as what the black elk saw on his vision when he saw it from up above. So, thank you for joining me for our peace lesson. We'll see you next time.